Hi, my name is Jake. I just wanted to do a quick review on the Aprilia caponord, however you say that. I just got done taking a trip with it, put about 3,000 miles on it. I've had it for about just a little over 2 weeks now. Well, it would be 2 weeks to the day. I got it to go on a trip with my dad. We went down to Missouri by Lake of the Ozarks. Roads were amazing down there, by the way. So kind of last minute, I bought this used with about 9,000 miles on it. Was looking for more of a sports touring. I have a track bike. I've had a few other bikes over the years. My first bike was an FC07, which I loved. Highly recommend that bike. This bike overall, pretty good. Suspension worked really well. I set it in where you had two people and luggage, so it was the firmest setting. And going around the twisties, that seemed to be the optimal setting for performance. The bike has like 125 horse, and then like close to 100 foot-pounds of torque, I think, which is plenty of power for a sports touring bike. Brakes, the Brembos on this thing, I thought worked phenomenally. They grabbed really hard, almost too much. And I got a Brembo set up on my track bike, and this seems to grab a lot harder, which is good because it's a lot heavier of a bike. The two issues that everybody says they don't like is the brain dead cruise control, which is kind of a pain. You have to hold it for like 3 seconds just to turn it on. You got to be in 5th gear or higher, or 6th gear. You press it and hold it for so many seconds, it starts flashing at you, and then you get up to your speed, and then you have to press it again, and then it holds your speed. You can press the button and turn it off, like if you're going through traffic, but then that stupid light is flashing at you for to letting you know that it's still on. And it goes solid once you press it and holds the speed, which it works well once it's on. And I'm happy that I have it, because on that 3,000 mile trip, over 600 miles each way was mostly highway. So overall I thought it did really well. This one has heated grips. Those are always nice. I've had them. I had put them on my FC07, so I've always liked those. Only issue I had, it overheated on me when we were in traffic, and that's because I stalled it, and I can blame that on myself. So, trying to think. That the other thing that it has is it has a service engine light that comes on, the little wrench, and I found out that thing comes on like at intervals of like every 2,000 miles, which is honestly irritating. So it came on the trip. I thought there was something wrong with the bike, and then after some research I found that's just how this thing's set up. I think there's a way to change that. You have to go, supposedly, I tried, I couldn't do it, but it's a dealer thing. You have to go into the dealer. They have some kind of device to hook up, and then it can get rid of that, but it comes back on after 2,000 miles. Seat was pretty comfortable. I mean, overall, I am so glad that I got this bike. It was super comfortable and very easy to ride. The wide handlebars make steering easy. I got this extra large screen that looks kind of dumb, but the stock screen to me wasn't going to cut it on that long of a trip, going 70, 80 miles an hour down the highway. Couple little things that I already did to it. I know some of them supposedly come with a RAM mount. I put a RAM mount right here. This is a good spot for it. I had the ram mount with the cup on it, so you can put a drink in it. But it was just a nice thing to put like your sunglasses on, so that's where I put there. And then I put up a 12-volt hookup right in the middle here, and then I have this over here so I can hook up 2 USBs. And then I know it has another USB port under the seat, and then this had another 12-volt plug-in on the side, but which probably would have been easier for me to do initially, to put my 12-volt plug, but there's a separate plug on there. So yeah, as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I pretty much totally got rid of my chicken strips on this. This bike will lean over, and I didn't scrape any hard parts, which I was really surprised by. And I'm just an intermediate rider, probably borderline A rider right now, and I can rip pretty good, I think. And this bike actually does a really good job, but like I said, when you want to have it in the firmest setting, because if you have it just in like the auto or one rider, it's pretty soft, at least for me. Gas mileage was pretty good. My dad has a Goldwing, so when we stopped and got gas, he needed gas at the same time. So I'm thinking around 30, 40 miles a gallon, somewhere in there that we were getting, which isn't too bad. Yeah, overall, I'm happy with it. I mean, it's mine now, so I can't really. I guess I could get something else, but I'm pretty happy with this bike. I'm glad with what it came with, and this also had a top box. Yeah, that goes on the back up here. So I had plenty of storage room, and these bags, I mean, you can get like saddle bags for another bike, but the hard bags that you get with a bike, there's a lot of room. You can put a lot of stuff in those. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Yeah, I think overall it's a pretty decent bike. It's a big bike. I mean, I think it's close to 600 pounds, somewhere in there, especially if you're loaded up, it gets up there. But and it's top heavy, but it leans really nice and easy. I definitely recommend it. I see a lot of reviews out there. A lot of guys don't like this bike, and they say it doesn't handle and all that stuff. And to me, I guess if you know how to ride, this bike will do it. So that's about it. It's a short and quick a bit. Aprilia. Who would have thought, my first Italian bike?